Welcome back, Forest Explorers. I am Mrs. Sapp. Today we will be running, climbing, and jumping back into helping Forest to see what all of our animal friends are up to. Our focus for today is going to be on making predictions and seeing if our predictions are correct. Have you ever guessed what would happen next in a story? That's called making a prediction. To make a prediction, you look at clues and make your very best guess. Let's try an example together. We will look at a photo for clues as to what might happen next. Take a look at our picture. See what might happen after. I see a car with a family inside. I notice that there is stuff on top of the car. It looks like luggage or suitcases. I notice that the people are kind of waving goodbye. My best guess or prediction is that the family might be going on some type of trip or a vacation. Let's try another one. Take a good look at the photo and predict what might happen next. I see that snow is falling from the sky. I see a little boy and girl looking out the window and they look very surprised. My best guess or prediction is that they might want to go outside and play in the snow. Maybe they'll build a snowman together or even go sledding. As we read our story today, we will stop and make predictions about what we think will happen next. We will use picture clues and words from the text to help us. Let's make our first prediction, looking at just the cover and title. What do you think our forest friends will be up to today? Let's find out if your prediction was correct. Let's get started with Forest Friends' Quest for Equal Parts. One bright, sunny morning, as the birds chirped and flew, Marvin Mouse had an idea and he shared it with the crew. Let's go on an adventure. I've got something fun to do. We'll learn about equal parts, and I'll show you how, too. Wow, it looks like Marvin Mouse wants to lead the forest friends on an equal parts adventure. Let's make a prediction. What do you think Marvin will use to help teach his forest friends about equal parts? Remember, use clues like words from the text or any pictures that you see. What do you think he will use to show equal parts? You might be right. My prediction is that he will use food. I think this because I saw a pizza in his thought bubble to split things into equal parts. Let's find out if this prediction is correct. Sally Squirrel looked puzzled. Her tail fluffed high. What do you mean? Can you clarify? I'll show you how to split down the middle with care. And we'll call it partitioning, fair and square. First up, Marvin took a muffin, warm and round. Let's split it evenly so all parts can be found. Robert Rabbit took a knife and with a careful line, He cut the muffin in half, making 2 pieces, just fine. Look, said Robert, 2 equal parts, ready to share. The friends all cheered, feeling quite fair. Now, said Marvin, let's cut it once more and see if we can make quarters, 4 pieces galore. It looks like we are right so far. Marvin Mouse used a muffin to explain to Robert Rabbit how to cut an item into 2 equal parts. Let's keep reading to see if our prediction still holds true. Also, make a prediction. What do you think our friends will do with all the food they are cutting into equal parts? Stop and think. Your prediction sounds pretty good. Let's keep reading to find out what they do with all the food. Sally Squirrel grabbed the muffin with care. She folded it gently and looked everywhere. Now I'll cut it, just like I was told, into 4 even parts. How fun to behold! Marvin squeaked. This feels like an increase. 4 pieces now. We all get a piece. Everyone giggled and took some time to munch, enjoying the muffin and their perfect lunch. The next time you hear this story, Mrs. Fithian will explore dividing items into equal parts with you, called partitioning. Let's keep reading. Next up, it was an apple, red and bright. Robert Rabbit said, I'll cut it just right. We'll share this fruit. I'll tell you what. I'll slice it in half with 1 careful cut. Sally looked closely and asked with a smile, Can we cut it into quarters? Let's try it for a while. So Marvin, with care, took the knife in his paw and cut it again, making 4 parts with awe. Now, said Marvin, I have one more thought. Let's partition something else that we've got. They found a flat rock, smooth and wide. Marvin cried, a perfect place to divide. Our forest friends just mentioned dividing a rock. That was not my prediction. I predicted that they would just be using food to show equal parts. Remember, it's okay to have a prediction not be completely correct. Did you guess something else besides food? Let's make a new prediction. Our friends have cut items into 2 and 4 equal parts so far. Stop and think. What do you think the next number will be that they divide into? Make a prediction now. Let's read on to see if your prediction is correct. My prediction is that they will cut the next item into 6 equal parts. Sally grabbed some chalk and drew a line straight. 1 line down the middle makes 2. How great! Gina Giraffe said, Let me do it with flair. I'll draw more lines, more spots to share. She drew a line across and 1 up too. Now we have 4 parts, each one brand new. Sally smiled and said with glee, Let's make 8 parts. Come, follow me. Gina Giraffe bent down with care and drew another line. Now there were 8 to spare. Wow, said Marvin, a good use of arts. We're really getting good at these equal parts. My prediction was not correct. They divided the block into 8 equal parts, not 6 like my guess. Did you think 6? Or did you think of a different number? Let's finish our story to see what they do with all the food at the end. The forest friends laughed and shared with delight. They learned how to partition, getting it just right. Shapes and food can be divided with care, into equal parts, which is always fair. So they smiled and cheered, their lesson complete. They learned about halves, quarters, and eighths, so sweet. With their new skill, they shared everything they found and lived happily in the forest where fairness did abound. It doesn't exactly say in the text what they did with all the food, but we can use picture clues. To me, it looks like they're going to share and enjoy a delicious meal with the apples and muffins they divided equally. I think this because I see all the friends gathered together with food and plates around a picnic table. Our lesson learned from this story is about fairness, sharing, and the importance of dividing things equally. We wouldn't want any of our friends to have less than another. The story also highlights the value of working together, learning new skills, and the joy of sharing. Let's continue making predictions together. We will look at different scenarios, use picture and word clues, and predict what might happen next. We'll also get to see if our prediction is correct or not. Let's get started. Liam opened his lunchbox and saw a napkin and a spoon. He looked excited as he pulled off the lid of a small container. He smiled and said, "Yum, my favorite." What do you think Liam will find in the container? Stop and think to make a prediction. But before we find our final prediction, let's look for clues. Remember, we can use pictures and words from our text that might give us some hints as to what might happen next. There are some words that I thought of that help me with my prediction. I see the word spoon, so I'm thinking of something that you eat with a spoon and not a fork. I see that it says a small container, so the snack probably isn't very big. And Liam said yum, so it must be something pretty delicious. So using the clue of spoon, small, and yum, I'm thinking of a couple things. I'm thinking it might be Jell-O, maybe some yogurt. So that's going to be my prediction. I predict it's going to be Jell-O or yogurt. I think those things are pretty yummy. Let's find out what was inside Liam's lunchbox. Liam found chocolate pudding in the container. My prediction was not correct, but that's okay. Did you predict that it was going to be delicious chocolate pudding? Let's try another one together. Dark clouds filled the sky as Anna looked out the window. She zipped up her jacket, grabbed her umbrella, and stepped outside. The wind began to blow. Stop and think. What do you think will happen next? What is your prediction? Let's look at clues in our text that might further help us make that prediction. There are some words that stood out to me that helped me decide what my prediction should be. It says dark clouds. I usually think that the weather's going to get pretty bad if the clouds are dark. I also see jacket and an umbrella and outside. So when I think of maybe some bad weather, maybe some rain, that would kind of make sense with an umbrella and jacket. And it definitely rains outside. So I'm thinking that Anna's going to go outside in the rain with her umbrella. What do you predict? Let's see if we're correct. It started to rain heavily and Anna used her umbrella. Was your prediction correct? Mine was. And remember, it's okay if you're not. Predicting is just fun. Let's continue. Miss Lee carried a big box into the classroom. It was covered with shiny paper and had the word surprise written on it. She said, "We'll use this for our art project today." What do you think is inside the box? Are any ideas coming to your mind? Let's look for some clues in the text to help us. The first thing I noticed was that it's a big box, not something little. There could be a lot of things in there. I also see that it says art project. So this isn't for music class or math class. So a big box for an art project. Can you think of things that you would use for an art project? What comes to my mind is markers, crayons, paint, maybe some scissors and glue. So what is your final prediction of what's inside of the mystery box? Let's find out if you're correct. The box had colorful paints and paintbrushes inside. Was your prediction correct? I was partially correct. I did mention paint and paintbrushes, but I also thought of some other things. Let's try one more together. Max the dog ran to the front door, wagging his tail fast. He barked twice and looked out the window. His ears perked up and he began jumping with excitement. Who or what do you think Max the dog sees? Stop and make a prediction. Now let's look at some clues to see if it might change your idea of what your prediction should be. Wagging his tail was a big clue for me. Normally, when dogs wag their tail, they're happy or excited. So maybe Max is seeing someone or something that's making him happy. I also see that his ears perked up. That's another sign that a dog is usually happy. And it also does say excitement. So what do I think Max sees? Or who does Max see? I'm thinking he probably sees a ball, something fun outside that he wants to play with. Let's see if my prediction is correct. Max saw his owner coming home from school. Was your prediction correct? Mine wasn't, but that's okay. I've had so much fun learning about predictions with you today. Remember, a prediction is just a good guess about what might happen next by using clues like pictures and words. Predictions may or may not come true, and that is okay. I have a fun activity that you can try at home with family and friends. Choose an item to put inside a plastic or paper bag. Make sure the person playing with you cannot see the item. Use words to describe the item. Is it soft, small, round, green, or furry? Use describing words and see if the person can predict or guess what is inside the bag. You can play this activity over and over again with new objects. Just make sure you have permission first. I'm Mrs. Sapp, and I can't wait to explore with you again inside Helping Forest. See you next time.